2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning everybody, it's Thursday the 23rd of December and it's Festivus for Seinfeld fans. And a big happy birthday to Jodie Marsh, Trisha Goddard, Corey Haim and Finn Wolfhard. There were 106,122 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday, a new record high and the first time the UK's reported more than 100,000 in one day since mass testing began. There were 140 deaths reported and almost 1 million booster shots administered. There was also the first official glimmer of hope as new studies of patients from Scotland and South Africa suggested that Omicron may be up to 60% less likely to result in hospitalisation. Data analysts from Imperial College London also suggest that Omicron resulted in a 40% lower chance of a night in hospital compared to Delta, but it's still early stage data. Dr. Ravi Gupta, Professor of Clinical Microbiology, says it's a positive sign.
It's really very good news. We need to be proportionate in our response, and I think that the restrictions that we have in place now go some way towards achieving that. The only issue is, of course, that we may need to be revisiting such restrictions next year, given depending on what kind of variants emerge.
A full analysis from the UK Health Security Agency is due shortly, and in the meantime, the JCVI has suggested that the booster jab should now also be offered for 16 and 17-year-olds. Health Secretary Sajid Javid has been busy too, signing contracts for a new batch of antiviral drugs for the NHS.
The contracts that I've signed today, which are for 4.25 million additional doses. These are special drugs that have been developed specifically for COVID. They're particularly valuable to those that are vulnerable. They will certainly help to keep lots of people out of hospital.
While England avoids any further restrictions for now, Wales and Northern Ireland followed in the footsteps of Scotland with new measures announced on Wednesday. In Wales, it includes going back to 2-metre social distancing, the rule of 6 and face masks being required in hospitality. There are also limits on the size of both indoor and outdoor events. First Minister Mark Drayford criticised Boris for moving too slowly because of infighting in the Tory party.
I think that the UK government is in a state of paralysis, and there are others who I simply think take a different view of the balance of risk here and are prepared to allow those risks to run. I don't believe it's because they don't see the data. They see the data, but they're not prepared to act on it.
In Northern Ireland, there are new restrictions on socialising, but not until December the 27th, as Deputy First Minister Michelle O'Neill explained.
So from the 27th of December, we are asking people to limit mixing to a maximum of 3 households. There will be a legal requirement for businesses to take reasonable measures to achieve 2-metre social distancing in office spaces or where that cannot be achieved to provide alternative mitigations.
America hasn't escaped the Omicron variant, recording its first death and estimating that the variant now makes up 73% of cases. Joe Biden says Omicron is a real risk for the unvaccinated.
If you're not fully vaccinated, you have good reason to be concerned. You're at a high risk of getting sick. And if you get sick, you're likely to spread it to others, including friends and family. Almost everyone who has died from COVID-19 in the past many months has been unvaccinated.
And as he announced a pause on student debt repayments until May while case numbers rise again, he also called for Americans to do their duty and get the jab.
Get vaccinated now. It's free. It's convenient. I promise you, it saves lives. And I honest to God believe it's your patriotic duty.
Russia and Ukraine have been on the edge of conflict for some time now, with Russian troops massed on the Ukrainian border. President Putin had warned on Tuesday that Russia had no room to retreat in the standoff, but Wednesday saw Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov appear to suggest Russia would enter talks early next year to find a resolution to the crisis. He spoke to Russia Today.
It is enshrined in the famous song, "Do Russians want war?" We do not want war. President Putin has once again said that we do not want to have any conflicts, and we hope that no one else is interested in any armed escalation.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Jurgen Klopp is in love after drama at Anfield, and a Sex and the City star could have been a friend. Right after this.
You're listening to the Smart 7. If you're enjoying it, you might also like the Smart 7 Ireland edition. Just search and follow us on your favourite podcast platform.
3,
There were 3 Carabao Cup semi-finals on Wednesday night, with Brentford facing Chelsea, Liverpool taking on Leicester and Spurs meeting West Ham. Chelsea made light work of Brentford, winning 2-0, while Spurs beat West Ham 2-1. Liverpool were 3-1 down at one point against Leicester, but managed to get back to level terms and take the game to penalties. After a dramatic shootout, Jurgen Klopp's side went through to face Arsenal in the final. Jurgen was very happy with his team.
I love them, honestly. I loved them before, but I fell in love again because it's such an incredible character. But they show more often than not. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I'm so happy about this performance tonight.
The Sex and the City reboot, And Just Like That, has had a pretty mixed reaction on its return. Some die-hard fans weren't thrilled with the absence of Samantha. And, spoiler alert, Mr. Big Chris Noth found himself killed off in the show and accused of sexual assault by multiple women in real life. Kristen Davis, who plays Charlotte, popped up on James Corden's Late Late Show to chat about what might have happened when she auditioned for Friends before she landed the role in Sex and the City.
I think I was one of 8,000 young ladies who read for Monica. Courtney and I were in the same yoga class at the time, and we would hang out after class, and one day Courtney was like, hey, guys, do you want to come car shopping with me? And we were like, wow, car shopping. She said, I did this pilot. I'm feeling really good about it. I think I'm going to buy a Porsche. We were like, wow, is she for real? And it was Friends, and it did go very well.
Well, it's got to be about a week since we heard anything new from the Marvel Universe, right? Oh no, hang on a sec, wait, a new trailer's just dropped for the Doctor Strange sequel, which sharp-eyed viewers may have seen in the post-credit scenes of Spider-Man No Way Home. Benedict is back in the Cape for the charmingly titled Multiverse of Madness. He meets a few familiar faces too. It doesn't hit cinemas until May.
Wanda.
I knew sooner or later you'd show up. I made mistakes. And people were hurt.
What do you know about the multiverse?
Greatest threat to our universe is you.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.